If you refuse to yield to life, then life will yield to you. Hey friends, welcome to another video advice. Today, I'm going to be talking about persistence and how the power of persistence will absolutely change your life. Like I said in the intro, if you refuse to yield to life, then life will yield to you, right? One of the two outcomes has to happen, so which one would you prefer? Now let's think about this very simply. You have a goal, whether that be in your health, your wealth, your relationships, your spirituality, whatever it may be, you might have a goal. If you make the declaration that giving up is not an option, that failure is not an option, that calling it quits is not an option, if you make that declaration, that simple declaration, then you must succeed, right? If you can't stop, then you must succeed. This is where the power of persistence comes in, because who knows if you're going to succeed in a week, in 2 weeks, in a month, in 5 months, in a year, in 10 years, in 20 years, at the end of your life, on your deathbed, who knows when you're going to succeed, right? And of course, depending on the goal, we'd rather succeed sooner than later. But that's the trap. That desire for instant gratification, that's the trap. It's programmed into our biology because we're nomadic, right? We were initially in tribal formations with a nomadic lifestyle where we would migrate, and if you found a bushel of berries, instant gratification, you would eat the whole thing because who knows when the next bush of berries is coming along, right? But now we live in a very different world and we have very different goals, okay? And these goals take persistence because instant gratification is rarely the case with our modern goals. Our goals aren't really to find the next bush of berries, right? Where, that happens and right? Our goals are usually like, I want to create this business, right? Which has roadblocks, has things that we're not currently aware to that are going to prevent us from success. It has new things we have to learn in order to achieve our success. It has failures in relationship that we have to figure out. It has failures in supply chains that we have to figure out. It has failures in advertising that we have to figure out. It has failures in the business model itself that we have to figure out. All these things, when we start with our goal, we're like, yeah, I want to do that. Sounds great, right? But there's going to be so many failures, right? And if plan A ain't going to work, just flat out, plan A is not going to work, right? And plan B and C, they're probably not going to work either, right? So what's your plan D? What's your plan E? What is your persistent plan, right? Persistence will always get you to where you want to be, whether it's in business, health, anywhere in your life, right? Because if you refuse to quit, then you can't lose, right? What you're gonna see is that your approach and your desired outcome are gonna evolve. They're gonna shape shift. You're gonna start taking different approaches. They're gonna start looking for a different outcome. Maybe what you thought you wanted is not quite what you want. Maybe you get to what you wanted and you realize it's not what you want and you really want something slightly different. So it evolves, it shifts, right? Your approach, like I said, plan A is not gonna work. What's your plan B? What's your plan C? What's your plan D, right? Beautiful thing is that persistence is very much a muscle, okay? And it's a muscle that once you develop it, like other muscles, it becomes stronger. I remember just recently, maybe about 3 months ago, it felt like the whole world was conspiring against me. Everything was going wrong, right? And I had an epic moment of clarity where I just remember inviting it. I literally just said to the universe, I said, keep dumping crap on me. Go for it, because I won't stop. It's just a simple fact. It was as if the universe was dumping all that crap on me so I could figure that out about myself. That no matter what, I will not stop. I will not quit. I will keep shape-shifting. I will keep evolving. I'll go to plan E and F and G and H. I'll go to plan Z. It doesn't matter. And if Z doesn't work, I'm gonna go to plan double A and go through the alphabet with 2 letters. Okay, it doesn't matter. I'm not gonna stop because when you stop going after what you truly want, you're dead. And what's the point of living? Right? So that's a level that you can get to when you start to develop your persistent muscle, right? Your muscle for persistence. Start understanding that what you want is really worth that much to you, and make it a declaration that quitting, stopping, ignoring what you truly want is just not an option. And then you have to be successful. And here's the answer to the question, Noah, what if I'm not successful? Well, let me tell you this. Imagine you had this goal, it's what you really want, and you spent your whole life going for it, relentlessly, right? Relentlessly. Say you're on your deathbed, and you spent every moment of your life going for that goal relentlessly, with everything you could think of, with everything you could muster, with every plan. You went through plan triple Z, right? And then you grew old and you died, or you got on your deathbed and you still haven't succeeded. Would you really consider yourself a failure? Or would you look back at your life and say, man, that was one hell of a ride, right? You probably love every bit of it. You love every moment of your life because it was worth fighting for, and ultimately it's worth dying for. So understand that persistence is what's going to take you to wherever you want to go, and make it a declaration that you will be persistent, and then whatever you want, it's yours. Because I'll tell you, the universe doesn't tend to put people on their deathbed when they commit full out like that. The universe tends to give them what they want. It might not come on the first try, the 10th try, the 100th try. I mean, I think a story from Tony Robbins about Colonel Sanders was that he went to thousands, I think it was 3,000 plus different people trying to sell his chicken recipe in their restaurant, getting no after no after no. He traveled the country for 2 years doing nothing but trying to get a restaurant to sell his chicken recipe and split profits with him. And he went through thousands of no's before he got his first yes, right? So, and he started that in his 60s, right? And they didn't put Colonel Sanders on his deathbed without him getting what he wants, right? So develop that persistence. And guys, if you like the video, please like it, leave comments below. I hope this has been inspiring for you. And if you have any questions about health, wealth, relationships, spirituality, self-development stuff, awareness stuff, whatever, head over to noahhammond.com and use the contact form there. You can send in your questions, and I like to make videos out of your questions. So until next time, guys, thanks for joining me, and I'll see you soon.